Konbanwa minasan. Thank you for joining with us today. So this is the day 3 of our 5-day long workshop. So okay. So before moving forward, let's do a recap of yesterday's session. So at first, yesterday we learned how to call our family members in Japanese. Then moving on, we learned how to pronounce days in Japanese, also days of week and months. And then lastly, we learned how to tell time in Japanese. So these 3 things we have learned yesterday: how to call our family members, parents, cousins, another family members. Then we learned how to pronounce or how to say days of weeks in Japanese, then months in Japanese, and lastly we learned time. So from that, some of you had asked me to tell what do we call our daughter and son in Japanese. So let me just tell you that. Just a second. Okay, can you see the screen, blank screen? It will take some time to appear on your screen. Okay, can you see it? So for daughter, we use musume, musume, musume. Again, I will again repeat the pronunciation. Musume, musume. Then for son, we use musuko, 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 musuko. You can just write it down, and you can also take screenshot of this. So for daughter, we use musume, and for son, we use musuko. Musume and musuko. So I hope you have written this down or screenshot it. Okay. So also many of you have asked me some questions, and many of you have confusions or doubts in the time about the clock. So don't worry. Actually, we will clear them all your doubts about the clock also on the last day of the workshop. So you don't have to worry about that. Also, the homework which we were given yesterday was writing hiragana by watching the video, which the link was shared on the WhatsApp group. So, and we are really happy to see that most of you have done it very nicely. So I really appreciate that. It was very nice effort. And even if someone have doubts, any doubts about hiragana, don't worry. Shreya-san will be covering hiragana today. So rest assured. Before starting our today's session, let me just read over some guidelines for you. First, if you have any doubt or any technical queries, please comment in the comment box. We will surely help. If you are not able to see the screen clearly when we start the screen share, or if our sound is not audible to you, just refresh your page. It will solve your problem. Lastly, don't forget to take your notes. You can also take screenshots if you need it. So that's it. Now I'll hand over to this session to Shreya-san, who will be telling you all about hiragana. Shreya-san, onegai shimasu.
はい。 Arigatou gozaimasu. So, arigato Shruti-san. So let's start with hiragana today. I hope you all saw the video which we shared yesterday, and you all understand the stroke orders of hiragana. Keep one thing in mind: whether it is hiragana, katakana, or kanji, the stroke orders of the characters are very important in Japanese scripts. So at the first you will get confused about the stroke orders, but as you start practicing it daily, you will eventually get used to that. So in the first session, when I introduced you the scripts of Japanese language, I told that hiragana is used for writing the native Japanese word along with kanji, but kanji was the script which was taken from Chinese scripts. So around since around 800 AD, till that time Japanese didn't had any other script. They used only kanji, which was taken from the Chinese script. So Japanese people didn't have their own script. So since around 800 AD, Japanese people started using hiragana. At that time, only women used to use the hiragana script, not men. So eventually, it took time for getting used with hiragana for everyone. So hiragana has total 71 characters, as you can all see in this slide that I have shared. In the upper corner, a, e, u, a, o. These are the 5 vowels. So this 5 vowels consisting, it is called as the A series. The A series consists of the 5 vowels A, E, U, A, O. And from that, the consonant series are derived. मराठी हिंदीमध्ये पण आपल्याला 12 खडी असते, अ टू अ पासून तर आ पर्यंत, आणि त्याच्यावरनं आपण 12 खडी लिहितो, क खा की की. सिमिलरली जॅपनीज मध्ये पूर्ण वॉवेल्स वरती बेस्ड असते. आ, ई, उ, ए, ओ. इंग्लिश मध्ये तरी आपण ए, ई, आय, ओ, यू असं म्हणतो, बट जॅपनीज प्रोनाउन्सिएशन नुसार आ, ई, उ, ए, ओ. From that, the consonants are derived. So total 10 मेन सिरीज आहेत हिरागाना अँड काताकाना. सिमिलर सिरीज आहेत दोन्ही याच्यात, फक्त कॅरेक्टर्स रायटिंग पद्धत जी आहे ती डिफरंट आहे. का, की, कु, के, को. It is the ka series. Then comes the sa series. Sa, she, su, se, so. Also, I would recommend you to keep your books with you where you have practiced your hiragana yesterday. So it will help you. Otherwise, I'm showing on the screen, but it will help you. Next is the ta series. Ta, chi, tsu. Chi and tsu. Here, t and tu is not used. It is predefined in the kana series that t and tu is not used. They are chi and tsu. We can say they are special characters. Te, to. The next is na series. Na, ni, nu, ne, no. Next is the ha series. Ha, he, fu, he, ho. Again, here fu is a special character. Ma, mi, mu, me, mo. Then comes the ya series, which only consists of 3 consonants: ya, you, and yo. Then ra series. Ra, ri, ru, re, ro. The last series, that is the va series, which consists of only 2 characters, va and vo. And the last character of hiragana series, that is the character. From Marathi Hindi, we can say halant n or halant m. So these are the main 10 series. But there are some few series that are derived from those 10 series using 10 10. I'll show you what it is. All these series are according to the dictionary order of Japanese. So let's see about how the series are derived from the main series. I have shared the screen. If you are able to see it, then just type down in the comment box. You can try refreshing the page if you are not able to see that. I have increased the font size so that it would be visible for you. Just try refreshing if it is not working. So let's see from the Ka series. The A series, these are all the vowels. So the main series is starting from the Ka series. So from Ka series, we get the Ga series. See, for deriving the Ga series from Ka, the 10 character is used. I've highlighted it on the screen so you'd be able to see 10 character. So it is added at the upper corner, left upper corner of the character to make the different series. So for creating the Ga series from Ka series, Ka plus 10, the symbol, it is called 10. It looks like a double quoted mark, but it is a 10. Creates the Ga series. Similarly, key key plus 10 gives key. It gives key. I'll just explain this one series. Others I'll be explaining orally. Then ku plus 10 gives who. A plus 10 gives A. O plus 10 gives go. I'm actually using the Japanese keyboard, so I haven't written it in English. So I will share the image on our WhatsApp group, also in our Moodle, so you would be able to see the pronunciations of the series. So similarly, in such way, when we add 10 to the Sa series, we get the Za series. I will show you in the image. See, here is the Ga series, which is derived from the Ka series. Then underneath it is the Za series, which is derived from the Sa series, adding 10 to each of the syllable. Za, Ji, Zu, Ze, Zo. Again, the G here is a special character. Then after Sa, Taj series. So after adding 10 to the Ta series, we get the Da series. Da, G. Here again, it is pronounced as G. But keep one thing in mind, the G in the Da series is rarely used. Only there are a few words where this G is used. Similarly, the Zu in the Da series. These both are the rare characters. They are not usually used. Then they, though. This was the Da series. Na series, it is the single series. Nothing is derived from that. Then comes the Ha series. There are two series that are derived from Ha series. First is the Ba series. It is derived using 10. Ba, Bi, Bu, Be, Bo. So all these series till now were derived using the 10. But there is one series in Hiragana as well as Katakana that is derived using Maru, which is derived from Ha. Maru is a Japanese full stop, a small circle. We use a full stop that is like पूर्ण गोल असतो तो आणि भरलेला असतो. बट जॅपनीज मध्ये तसं नसतं, स्मॉल सर्कल असतो. That is, they call that their full stop Maru. So जसा जिथे आपण 10 लावतो, सिमिलरली तिथे मारू जॉईन करायचा. सो इट बिकम्स द पा सिरीज. मारू फक्त हा सिरीज सोबत जॉईन होतो टू डिराइव्ह द पा सिरीज. पा, पी, पू, पे, पो. These are the 5 series. These are the 5 series that are derived from the main series. They are also called as additional sounds in the kana. Kana means hiragana and katakana, both of the scripts. They are called kana scripts. So it is quite confusing at start, but again, if you practice it daily, you will get used to it. Now, in the left side, in the down corner, we are seeing some characters where and their sounding, their pronunciations as kya, q, kyo, gya, q, kyo. They are all the compound characters. These are formed using small ya, you, yo. Now, what is the small ya, you, yo? I will tell you how the compound characters are created. Yesterday, we learnt about numbers. In the first session also, we learnt about numbers, and we learnt yaku, means 100. So that yaku is the ya from the yaku is written by using the compound characters of hiragana. See, the normal ya and the small ya. I'll increase the font in case if you are not able to distinguish the size. Okay. So there is the small ya is used, ya, you and yo too. So I'll write it. So these three characters, that is the small ya, you, and yo. They are used for forming the compound characters. Now, the compound characters are formed using any one of the syllable in the series except for the vowels a, e, u, a, o. These characters are not used with the vowels. They are only used with the series starting from ka to va, not also with n. So let's take ka series. Ka plus small ya uses ya. See, the small ya is little bit smaller than the normal size. Then one important thing, these small characters are only used with the second characters from all the series, that is ki, gi, shi, chi, which are sounding like the e vowel. So this is the important thing. It is a rule. Actually, here should be e plus small u gives us q. E plus small yo gives us yo. Similarly, you can derive such compound characters for other series, but only the second characters from each series. Ki, gi, ki, then g, both of the g, then ri, mi, he, such. So these rules are common to hiragana and katakana both. Again, you will find it little bit harder at first, but these are the important rules for forming the characters. You can take the screenshots if you want to, or just write it down in your notes. Now let's see how to actual write in hiragana. So I will start with one of the greeting or family members. Let's take for family members. You know, mother, we call mother haha in hiragana. So here I have written in Romaji. This is the Romaji, which is English spelling of Japanese pronunciation, which is called as Romaji. So in hiragana, see here, two syllables are used. Ha, ha. So simply, you have to write the ha syllable 2 times. Ha, ha. For father, it is chichi. So while writing it, you have to use the chi syllable from the ta series. Chichi. For me, watashi. Watashi. So wa, then ta, shi. Watashi. Now that we have also seen how the compound characters are formed. Let's see how they are written. For 100, as I have given the example, 100, Hyaku. In writing in Romaji, we have written as Hyaku. Hyaku. It consists of he plus small ya. He plus small ya gives ya. So Yaku is written as Taku. If you want to practice hiragana and katakana perfectly with the small characters as well, so I would recommend to use the square books. You know, we used to use in nursery and lower cages for practicing maths. So that books are actually, I also use the same, and I always recommend it to the someone who wants to practice hiragana katakana. Those books are always helpful for practicing this. One more example, company. We have not seen this word, but it will introduce you to some vocabulary. Company, it is known as kaisha. Kaisha. Company or office means kaisha. So it is written as ka. Whenever you want to write in hiragana and you know the romaji, just break it. Break it like this. Ka, I, and sha. So it will help you recognize
You are now muted.
Hello? Am I audible now, everyone? If I'm audible, please comment. Hello? If I'm audible, please do comment. Okay. Okay, finally we are audible. So let's start without any more delay. Sorry for causing inconvenience. It was just a little technical issue. So without further delay, I will start with our relative time session. So here we will be learning about how to say today, tomorrow, and some more words like that in Japanese. Let me share the screen just a minute. So can we see a notepad, blank notepad? It will take some time to appear the screen. Okay, so we are visible, I guess. Okay, so let's start with the very first one. So let's see what now, this moment is called in Japanese. Now, atta. In Marathi, atta. So now can be pronounced as ima. 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 Then present. Present. Genzai. 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 Present is called as genzai. Next, past. Past. Kako. 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 Past is pronounced as kako. Then future. Future. Future is called as mirai. 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 Next, today. Today. As. Acha divas. So today is called as kyo. 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 Don't forget to write it down in your notes, or you can also screenshot again. Next, called as Ashita. Ashita. Ashta. So sometimes what happens, like here in Ashita, this A is a syllable, this T is a syllable, and this Ta is another syllable in hiragana. So Ashita. But while you pronounce Ashta, while you say Ashta, you say Ashta, not Ashita. This E is silent there. This E becomes silent. So it pronounces as Ashta, not Ashita. Ashta. Next. Yesterday. Yesterday. Kino. 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 Yesterday is pronounced as kino. Next, day after yesterday. Day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow. Day after tomorrow, parva. So what parva can be said in Japanese is asate. Asate. Double T हा या एका सिलॅबलला रिपीट करायसाठी यूज होतो. आता इथे ते या सिलॅबलला आपल्याला रिपीट करायचं आहे. ते नाही फक्त ते, तर म्हणून हा इथे यूज केलेला आहे. असा ते डे आफ्टर टुमॉरो मीन्स असा ते. Next, this week, the current week, चालू असलेला week. So this week means 今週 Then next week.来週 next week. Then last week. 最終 last week. Next. So this was this week, next week, last week. So now let's see how months can be called. So this month, just same like this week. Kongetsu. Next month. 来月 Next, last month. 先月 last month, 先月 So we have seen week for weeks, for months. Now, what is used for year? For this year, that is the current year, we can say kotoshi, kotoshi, kotoshi. For next year, rainen, rainen, rainen. Then last year, kyonen, kyonen. Last year, kyonen. Simply kyonen. So this is how this week, next week, last week, or same for month and year. So this is how we call them. Let me remind. Sorry, I just we saw here day after tomorrow, asatte, asatte for day after tomorrow. So for day before yesterday, it is called as otoi, ototoi. Sorry, ototoi, 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 ototoi. Day before yesterday, ototoi. So next, what? Morning, morning, asa, 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 asa. For afternoon, for afternoon, hiru, hiru, hiru. For afternoon, hiru. For evening, for evening, yu, yu. You prolongated with u, you. For evening, you. And lastly, for night, yoru, yoru, yoru. Or bang, bang, bang. Yoru, yoru. Or bang, yoru. Or bang for night. So this is how the relative time, we can call it the relative time in Japanese. Shortly, I will repeat all this once again. So if you have missed something, you can just recap over it and write it down if you have missed it. So let's recall it once again. For now, ima, ima. Present, genzai, genzai. For past, kako, kako. For future, mirai, mirai. For today, kyo, kyo. Tomorrow, ashita, ashita, ashita. Yesterday, kino, kino. Day after tomorrow, asatte, asatte. day before yesterday. Ototoi. Ototoi. This week. Konshu. Konshu. Next week. Raishu. Raishu. Last week. Saishu. Saishu. This month. Kongetsu. Next month. Raigetsu. Raigetsu. Last month. Sengetsu. Sengetsu. This year. Kotoshi. Kotoshi. Next year. Dainen. Dainen. Last year. Kyonen. Kyonen. Morning. Asa. Asa. Afternoon. Hiru. Hiru. Evening. You. You. Night. Yoru. Or ban. Yoru. Or ban. So, this is how we say relative time in Japanese. So, I hope you all are clear with it. If you have any doubts, you can just comment in the comment box. We will just clear them. I hope you all have understood it and have fun. Had fun with it. Okay, so moving on. We have learnt numbers till 100. We all have learnt numbers till 100 up till now. So now let's learn how to read numbers after 100. So I will hand over to Abhishek-san for that. Abhishek-san, onegaishimasu.
Arigato, Shruti-san. Hello, good evening, everyone. I hope I am audible to y'all. If I'm audible to y'all, just please quickly type a yes so that we can begin our session without any further delay. Also, you should be able to see a screen on your YouTube screen. You can see my WordPad there. Second, I guess it's loading. Audible. Plenty of yeses here. Yes, the screen is now visible to y'all as well. Visible. Okay. Now, so are you ready to learn how to count from 100 to 1000 with Japanese numbers? Well, I'm excited to teach you all as well. But first, as many of you requested, let us quickly recap Japanese numbers from 1 to 100. I'll be not going too deep here, but yes, I'll make sure you all understand the numbers that I'll be teaching you, because this 1 to 10 is actually the base of all the numbers that we are going to write. Okay, so we'll be starting from 1 to 100. Okay, so first we'll be saying numbers 1 to 10 in Japanese. So the number 1 is ichi. Number 1 is ichi. Please make sure you write the pronunciation as soon as I am saying here, because I'll not be taking it one more time. So 1 is ichi. You can write it in Marathi. I chala ichi matra ichi. 2 is ni. Ni. 3 is san. San. 4 is yon. It's not yon, it's yon. Yala ochi matra ani no. Yon. And 4 is also called as she. 5 is go. 5 is go. 6 is roku. 7 is nana. 7 is also chi. Now, one thing you have to take care of that. It's not shi chi, it's chi. You have to elongate the sh here and then have chi to it. So it's not shi chi, it's chi. And you don't have to write it the way I have written it here. I have written this way because I have to just tell you all the vowel E is elongated here. We write chi this way. 8 is hachi. Hachi. 9 is Q or ku. Q or ku. 10 is Jew. The Y sound should be there. It's not Jew, it's Jew. Okay, so this is number 1 to 10. As you can clearly see here, the number 4, the number 7, and the number 9 have 2 readings. Now, while counting numbers, you can use either of these two. And while months, yesterday when I was taking the session of months, I've told you which numbers are preferred while counting and which numbers are preferred while we are saying months. So please refer to that one. So this is number 1 to 10 in Japanese. Now, there are 2 tricks for the numbers. See, whenever we have something with a power of 10, like 20, 30, 40, 60, up to 90, what we use is we use a multiplication tricks. It's simply 20 can be written as 2 into 10. 2 into 10, we know, we just saw 2 is ni, 10 is ju. Together it makes ni ju. This is a multiplication trick. Similarly, for 30, 3 into 10, 3 is san, 10 is ju. Together it makes sanju. Similarly, we can do this stuff till 90. So similarly, 90 can be, as you can see on the slide, 90 is 9 into 10. You already know what 9 is. 9 is Q. And 10 is Ju. Together it makes Q Ju. So once you are knowing 20, 30, 40, 60, 90, the numbers like 1 to 19, 21 to 29, 31 to 39, up to 91 to 99 is easiest. All you have to do, you have to just use the preceding power of the 10 plus the digit that you want to add in it. What I meant to say is that just for the number, let's say 13, what we'll do is we'll use the addition trick. What I told is we'll use the preceding power of 10. So 13 preceding power is 10 plus, we are using 3 here. 10 plus 3, we already know 10 is Ju, 3 is San, and it's Ju-san. Ju-san. Similarly, let's say we are doing the number 99. Now for 99, it's simply preceding power of 10 is 90 plus 9. Now 90 is Q, Ju, and then 9 is Q. So it can be written as Q, Ju, Q. This is 99. So I guess it's clearly 100. I'll just repeat. These are the numbers 1 to 10. I hope you write it down. You can even take a snapshot of it. I am waiting for a second here. Just take a snap of it quickly. Yeah. So for all the powers of 10, we have a multiplication trick here. Cool. And for all the numbers which are not powers of 10, what we use is we use an addition trick here. Cool. Now for 100, see, we don't have any trick. We have to memorize this name. For 100, 100 is called as yaku in Japanese. It's yaku in Japanese. Now plenty have this problem in the pronunciation of ya. Actually, it can be seen as a combination of two words, hi and ya. So when we say this hi and ya together, a sound which comes out is ya, ya, ya. And we just simply add ku to it, and together it makes yaku. So there it is, 100 for you. So yes, coming back, let us now learn from 100 to 1000. Learn from 100 to 1000. Now, as you all know, 100 is yaku. 100 is yaku. Now that you know how to pronounce 100, let's quickly go over from 200 to 900. I'll come back for the numbers in between, but for now, I'm trying to make it as easy as possible for you all. So let's quickly go to 200. Make sure you write this because now there are going to be many exceptions here. So make sure you're clear, please, and please concentrate on the pronunciation. Cool. So 200 is just 2 and 100. It is the power of 10. So we'll use our multiplication trick again. So it's just 2 and 100. So 2 is ni and 100 is yaku. Together it makes nihaku. Nihaku. Cool. So 300. Now for 300, there's a small change in sound. I repeat, for 300, there's a small change in sound. The sound H gets converted into sound B. That is, the ya gets converted into bya. Okay, rest all is same. So it's 3 into the ya is getting changed into bya. So it's san, like 3 is san, and it's not yaku now, it's byaku. To 100, so yon, which is 400, which is yaku, together it makes yon yaku. Similarly, 500 is simply 5 and 100. 5 is go in Japanese, 100 is yaku, and together it makes go yaku. Go yaku. Skip 600 for now. 700 is simply 7 and 100. 7 is nana in Japanese. 100 is yaku. Together it makes nana yaku. Nana yaku. We'll skip 800 as well. 900 is simply 9 and 100. So 9 is Q and 100 is yaku. So together it makes Q yaku. So 900 is Q yaku. Yes, now coming back to 600 and 800. Now, these two numbers include a change of sound on the digit 6 and 8 itself. I repeat it one more time. It's okay if you write it down. These two numbers include a change of sound on the digit 6 and 8 itself. That's why I skipped that. So for 600, the number 6, which is roku, actually gets rope. It gets voiced as a rope. It's not a rop, It's rope. रला ओची मात्रा आणि प, rope, झाडाचं rope. So the Roku gets voiced to rope. Also, the H sound gets converted into P sound. That is, the ya gets converted into pya. The ya sound gets converted into pya sound. Now what we have is 6 and 100. Our 6 is now rope. And ya gets changed into pya. So it's rope and pyaku. Rope and pyaku. Together makes rope. You don't add the hyphen there. It's just rope pyaku. I'll tell while I'm adding hyphen there. It's rope pyaku. Similarly, for 800, our digit 8 is hachi. It's voiced at hup. It's not hap, it's hup. H ani p, hup. And similarly, ahya gets voiced to pya. It becomes hap, ku. Up, ku. Good. I'll repeat it one more time. 100, yaku. 200, niyaku. 300, sanbyaku. The H sound gets changed to P sound. 400, yonyaku. 500, goyaku. 600, ropyaku. Here, Roku gets voiced at rope and H sound gets changed to P sound. $700, Nanayaku. 800, Hapyaku. And 900, Kyuhyaku. Now here's a fun fact. A question might have evoked in your mind regarding 600 and 800. I'll tell you why instead of ya, they end in pya. See, basically it's hard to pronounce the number for 6 and 100 and also 8 and 100. Try it yourself. If you are using a Roku for 6 and Hachi for 8, then 600 might be Rokuyachi, Rokuyaku, and 800 might be Hachiyaku. As you can see, it's quite difficult to pronounce. It might not be confusing for you yet, but when you will say it normally, it's actually very confusing to say. As a result, a part of 600 and 800 becomes chopped off and a consonant more conductive to pronunciation is added there. That is rope and hup. Also, one thing I want to stress is that this 600 and 800 have a slight pause while we are saying that. So 600 is pronounced as ropyaku, hup, actually indicates that where you should add a slight pause. Cool. Okay then. Now that you know up to 900 in Japanese, you should be able to read any numbers, like literally any numbers from 100 to 990. You can read any numbers. Here's how. Let's say we have the number, let's take a random number, I guess, 571. Okay. Let's take a number 571. How do you say this in Japanese? Now, listen carefully. 500 can be clearly written as 571. Cool. I'm just writing it so that I can explain you all this thing. So 500 can be written as 500. H means 100. T is the tens place and 1 is the units place. So 571. We have just seen 500, 5H. What have we seen for 500? We have seen 500 is Goyaku. 70. If you remember, tens power, we use the multiplication trick. 70, 7 into 10. So what is 7? If 7 is Nana, 10 is Jiu, plus 1. 1 is Ichi in Japanese. As simple as that, it together makes Goyaku, Nana, Jiu, Ichi. Cool. I'll repeat one more time. 571. 500 Goyaku, 70 multiplication trick, 7 into 10. 7 is Nana, 10 is Jiu. So it becomes Nana Jiu and 1 is Ichi. When we add this all together, it's Goyaku, Nana Jiu, Ichi. Simple enough. You can make any number. Now we'll take one more. Let's say 396. Cool. We will do it directly. What do we call 300? We call 300 as Sambyaku. 96, 9 into 10. 9 is Q. 10 is Jiu. 90 and 6 is simply Roku. Together it makes Sambyaku, Jiu, Roku. 396. Simple. Okay. You might be confused, but I guess it's simpler. I guess do 105. Don't get confused on this. It's just 105. 105. So 100 Yaku 5 ko. Now, this one is for y'all. You will tell me this. Please type your answer in the comment box. Tell me what is 825 in Japanese. Write it fast. We'll have to move on to the next thing. Tell me what is 825 in Japanese. Please type your answer in the comment box. 825 in Japanese. No one wants to write. अब तो मुझे ही डर लग रहा है मैंने बराबर पढ़ाया कि नहीं. Okay, we got an answer. Cool, Aniket, that's correct. Correct. Okay. Wonderful. Okay, so that's it. That is correct. 825 is written this state. Now, what about our very own guest of honor, which is the number 1000 itself? Actually, we'll keep it for another session, but we'll cover numbers from 1000 and more. But still, if you want to know, just for the sake of the mental satisfaction of having completed 100 to 1000 in Japanese, then here it is. 1000 is generally called as sen in Japanese. Sala echi matra ani no. Sen. So 1000 is sen in Japanese. Okay, cool. So here we have completed all the numbers from 100 to 1000. You can take a quick snap of it if you want to, and then we'll move forward. It's also better if we just take a 10-second break and we'll move on to seasons in Japanese. Your brain needs break while reciprocating all the information. So we'll just have a 10-second break and we'll start with the seasons. Just take a snap of it. Okay, cool. So yes, here it is. You have learned how to say and how to write numbers from 100 to 1000. So now, without wasting any further time, I'll get directly into the seasons. We'll be now learning about the seasons in Japan. Now see, in any language, it's always helpful to know the names of the seasons of the year. So Japan has 4 seasons. Japan has 4 seasons. This is a very important word actually, 4 seasons. I'll come back to it soon, but for now, Japan has 4 seasons. It's spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Aesthetic changes in nature, such as cherry blossoms in spring to red and yellow flowers in autumn, are part of Japan's charm. So in Japan, 1 year is actually divided into 4 periods. If you want to just write it down for the sake of information, you can just write it out. I'll just dictate it. The spring, the period from March to May is spring. The period from March to May is spring. March to May is spring. Period from June to August is summer. The period from September to November is autumn. And the period from December to February is winter in Japan. Cool. So now we'll be learning the names of 4 seasons in Japan. First of all, the Japanese word for season or the season. Japanese word for season or the season is kisetsu. 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 Kisetsu is season or the season in Japanese. Now here's a fun fact. Remember how I was stressing on 4 seasons a lot? In Japanese, there's literally a word for 4 seasons. Yes, there is a word for 4 seasons. So 4 seasons is called as shiki. 4 seasons is called as shiki in Japanese. Now here's the thing. I'll write it down. We have a very long. It's not shiki. It's shiki. You have to elongate the sh here and then add ki to it. So the actual word for 4 seasons in Japanese is shiki. This may sound strange, but this is just one of the many ways in which Japanese differs from English. But it provides a very fascinating look at how this Western and Eastern cultures even describe something as basic as 4 seasons. It's quite unique. I hope you all don't get bored by my never-ending fun facts. Anyway, let's get into some action. So the 4 seasons in Japanese are spring. The spring is called as haru. Spring is called as haru. Ha achimatra, ra uchimatra. Haru. Summer, natsu. Natsu. Na ardha ta and tela sa and tela uchi matra. This TSU is always su. Ardha ta and tela sa and tela uchi matra. Autumn is aki. Aki. Please make sure it's not aki, even though it's a there. It's not aki. It's aki. Autumn, aki. Fuyu. Fuyu. I'll just go over this season stuff one more time. So Japan has 4 seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. Make sure you take a screenshot of it while I'm there. So the period from March to May is spring. The period from June to August is summer. The period from September to November is autumn. And the period from December to February is winter. The Japanese word for season or the season is kisetsu. Kisetsu. And there's literally a word for 4 seasons. It's shiki. Not shiki, it's shiki. And these are the 4 seasons in Japan. Spring is called as haru. Summer as natsu. Autumn as aki, not aki, aki. And winter as fuyu. Winter as fuyu. And this is it. This is how the 4 seasons are described in Japanese. So, congratulations. You have now learned about seasons in Japan and Japanese number from 100 to 1000. This is really huge. If I would have been you, I would have literally danced out of joy to be able to learn so much of Japanese in just 3 days, despite the fact I don't know how to dance. Anyway, now as always, there's a good news for y'all. Again, please don't hate Shreya-san for this because she'll be the one now giving you all the homework. Shreya-san?
Arigato, Abhishek-san. Okay, first of all, adding to the part of seasons, I don't know if any of you wondered why there is no rainy season in Japan. If someone had wondered about it, then I would like to answer that. The rainy season in Japan varies from place to place. So that's the reason why they didn't include a special season of rainy season. So actually in Japan throughout the year rain is there. So there is no special rainy season in Japan. Okay, now moving on towards the homework. So again, as Abhishek-san said, please don't hit me for that. As today we learned about hiragana. Yesterday I gave you hiragana's homework and today we'll learn more about hiragana. So in similar way, we'll learn katakana. I will be sharing the YouTube video link of katakana stroke orders in the WhatsApp group as well as our Moodle social forum. So please check out the video and try to write down or try to practice the katakana script. So tomorrow I'll be explaining katakana more, how to write in katakana. So now let's move on towards the doubts. If you have any doubts, just write down in the comment and we are there to solve it.
So now we will be starting with a doubt clearing session. If anyone has any doubt, please post it in the comment box.
Sorry to interrupt.
Yes.
Abhishek, there is a doubt for someone wants to repeat for summer and spring. Can you please repeat it for them?
Yeah. I just did. I think her doubt is clear, but no problem. I'll just do it one more time. So summer is natsu. Summer is natsu. And winter is fuyu. Winter is fuyu. Autumn is aki. Autumn is aki. And spring is haru. Haru. Okay.
There was one doubt in the between of the session for yaku. Okay, when I taught about writing in hiragana, so yak is a combination of he and small ya character. So combining it, that forms a compound letter ya. So yaku is a combination of he, small ya, and ku. Yaku means 100. I hope it solved your doubt. If not, you can ask again.
So do we have any more doubts with us today? I guess we don't have, but we'll still wait for a minute or two just to see if we have anything before us.
If you have any doubts, please just ask without hesitating. Okay, how to write company in hiragana? Okay, I'll show you. Don't worry.
Just wait a second. She'll be sharing her screen. Okay, take 10 to 20 seconds. Isn't there a consonant for kh?
For gh. No, Raghavendra, as I told, there are very less sounds in Japanese. So the series that we have learned today, these are only sounds used in Japanese language, whether it is hiragana, whether it is katakana or kanji. So there is no consonant for gh. Kh, dh, d, th, these sounds are not in Japanese. So getting back to our doubt for company. So I hope you are seeing the screen. We'll just take a few seconds. So for company, the word was kaisha. So I'll just break that word in our in the characters of hiragana. Ka, ki, and sha. So while writing it in hiragana, simply look at the romaji. The romaji is the English spelling of Japanese pronunciations. The first is ka. Ka. Even we are pronouncing as kaisha, it is written using ka. The ka character, then e, the vowel e, and sha. Sha is a compound character of she plus small ya, which gives us sha. So sha is written as she and small ya. Sha. This is how we write kaisha. I'll just highlight it. Kaisha. You can write it down or just take the snap of it. Any more doubts?
Aniket, we will be covering the greetings that we did for the very first time. And along with that, we have plenty of more greetings for you all. I guess, Shreya, are we going to do it on last day?
Yes, yes. Aniket, we are going to repeat the greetings on the last day as well. But if you want to know about it now, you can go on the Moodle where you can see the first 2 sessions uploaded there and watch it from the start to know the greetings. Raghavendra, you can write your name in Japanese, but for that first we have to learn katakana. For writing name of our name, that is we are foreigners, so our names should be written using the foreign script, that is the katakana script. So we will learn it tomorrow how to write your own name in Japanese.
I just want you to repeat the homework one more time.
Okay. The homework is I'll be sharing a video link of katakana stroke order where you can learn katakana script in the Moodle as well as the WhatsApp group. So you can check that video out and try practicing katakana. So this is your homework, and also you can post it on the WhatsApp group, the snap of your practice.
So for
Because
everyone who
tomorrow
are
we will learn
aiming-
more about katakana.
So for everyone who are aiming to write their name, now you need to know katakana very well. Otherwise, you won't be able to write your name. So do practice it and come tomorrow. We'll be doing katakana. Also, tomorrow we'll be doing the session on the same time, 5. Request y'all to please come as soon as possible. We keep waiting for y'all till 5:15. What happens is that then we need to expand this session till 7, and not everybody is okay in that. So do come early as possible. We'll be starting at 5:55 sharp. Thank you all for today. And if you have any more doubts, keep reading it. And if you have doubts, then we'll be covering it in tomorrow's doubt clearing session.
One more thing, if you have doubts, you can post it in our discussion forum in the Moodle, so we could read it, and next day we can solve your doubts. Also, we can answer there directly. So thank you all for joining today. We enjoyed a lot with you all, and I hope you also enjoyed with us today. So we'll meet tomorrow again, same time. Please be there at the time at 5 till 5. We'll be waiting for you. Let's meet again tomorrow. Arigatou gozaimashita.
Arigatou gozaimasu.
Arigatou gozaimasu, everyone.